What's going on, Anatomy Kids? It's Mr. Summers. I'm just sitting upstairs in the palatial Edina estate, window overlooking the pool. Um, some things, if you hear some hilarious laughing, that's my wife. She has to sit here and endure this while I'm doing this one. But here we go. We're start up on the first part of our joints lecture. Weed jokes not needed today. Weed jokes funny. Any spot where two bones meet, my wife is just judging me right now. Any spots where two bones meet is called a joint. They're called articulations, and they are kind of grouped into a bunch of different categories based on whether they move a lot or they don't move any at all, or what actually makes them up. What are you judging for?
So good.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. Thank you. I hope you enjoy me getting judged by my wife during this whole time. But that spot is also called an articulation. So that's what that word means right there. Articulation is any spot where two bones meet. Fibrous, cartilaginous, and synovial are the big three. We'll go through fibrous and cartilaginous today. I'll leave the synovial ones for tomorrow because they are the more entertaining ones and they're way funnier and they're the ones you probably do know. So fibrous joints, if you didn't read it, have some sort of dense connective tissue holding them together. Normally fibrous joints don't move. So that's the main important part of fibrous joints. Three, syndesmosis, that's misspelled, way to go me. Sutures and comphosis, or comphoses if you want the plural of that one. So at the top. Oh, this PowerPoint's also, can you just scroll through at your own time if you don't want to hear me talk, but I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that one. If you've ever heard someone say in their life they've had a high ankle sprain, I believe I've talked about this at some point in time. That is a syndesmosis. It is a fibrous connective tissue holding together two bones, specifically the distal end of your tibia and fibula. You'll see it in the next picture. Right, I think I probably told you guys a story about my awesome athletic ability and playing basketball in Arizona on spring break. I went up and grabbed a rebound over somebody because I'm super athletic. And as it turns out, I landed on that person's foot. I came over the top of my ankle. Me being not someone who's 84 pounds, with a lot of weight coming down. I heard some gnarly noises and I hit the ground like a ton of bricks, and my ankle swelled up like all the way up to mid calf. Then it like a wide range of like colors: purple, green, yellow. It was awful looking, but that is a syndesmosis. So you can see this in this sweet pic. So this is the distal end of your tibia and fibula right there, and then there's a thing holding those two things together. That's what a high ankle sprain is. That's a lot different than an inversion or eversion sprain, where you just kind of move things along the side here, like under your medial lateral malleolus, the big bumps in your ankle. That's this thing and this thing. So it's a way different one. It's way worse. You don't come back from it pretty easy. Sutures, if you didn't know what a suture was, all those bones you learned in the skull, frontal, temporal, parietal, occipital, are all held together by like bands of fibrous connective tissue. It's those soft spots. Clark has soft spots in the middle part of his head. That they're being pulled together by a ligament, and that ligament is then eventually going to hold them there, and they're going to fuse together. So those are sutures. If it wasn't a suture, or if it wasn't a pliable opening thing, as kid emerged from mother, that would have been awful, and not that I'm sure it was probably not the most pleasant thing in the history of pleasant things, but it would have been way worse if the kid's skull couldn't compress a little bit. So there you go. You had a series of sutures. There's my mouse. Right? Coronal suture runs between your frontal and your parietal bones. The scamosal one here between your temporal and parietal. Then boidal suture. They're all sutures that we never learn the names of because they're not really that important, but they exist. So there you go. And comphosis is the weirdest one. It's like a bony process sticking into a bony socket. It's your teeth. Your teeth don't move, and they are stuck into literally inside your skull. There is a divot, a depression that your tooth just fits right into. So it's like a cone-shaped thing into a cone-shaped opening. I think this hand motion thing I'm doing is way more awesome. Yay, okay, go me. So there you go. Right at the end of this, there's an opening in the skull here, which is where that tooth would go. Our second one today is cartilaginous joints or cartilaginous joints, depending on who you ask. I'm a cartilaginous kind of guy, just living. The reason why we learned hyaline cartilage is because it comes up again. And normally these ones don't move that much. So synchondrosis and symphysis, both of which we've talked about before, we've never used those terms. Synchondrosis is the bands of hyaline cartilage that connect your ribs to your sternum, right? You can see them in this sweet pickup because I'm a professional high school teacher. Here you go, right? So this is an articulation where it is now a spot where two bones meet, and this cartilage holding it together is what makes it a cartilaginous joint. Because it's just cartilage and it's cartilage. Okay, good talk. There's a series of them there. And we've talked about this one before because I told you the story about a girl in my class who sprained her pubic symphysis. So if you can think of that one, you can picture that in your head. But that is, the symphysis is a spot where two bones are again attached by hyaline cartilage and fibrocartilage. So if you look at it, right, this is the right side of the pelvis where it meets the left side of the pelvis on the back side, not the front side where it meets the sacrum, but on the back side, this here is a joint held together by cartilage, and if it's a joint held together by cartilage, it can be sprained. I told you that story about the girl who did that in a car accident. She had like compression on her pelvis, and then she sprained her pubic symphysis. That is where this ends. Can't wait to go through the next parts with you guys later. I miss you all so dearly.